Hello to all my fellow and future gamers, and welcome to the Bubbles Gaming Channel. I am X, and this is Subnautica. Picking up right where we left off last time, we're going to make our way down to Lifepod 6. I'm going to head out at first light. I'll see you then. And welcome back for that beautiful sunrise. Alright, we're on our way over to Lifepod 6. Just jumped off the Lifepod there, haven't really made it very far. Check out our inventory, so we got everything on that we need. We got an extra bladderfish, bringing a little water, a little food, and a little health with us just in case we find something along the way. So, definitely going to have our scanner out. And based on only being 500 meters away, I'm not too concerned about using the Sea Glide right away. I want to save that in case we get deep and we need to come shallow quickly. But you kind of see, on my way out here, one of the things that I am going to do is, once again, be a huge nerd. And I'm going to take notes kind of along my way as to what is along the way, specifically what biomes that we cross. Because once we've cleared out Lifepod 6, one of the things that I will do, is I'll turn off the beacon so that we don't have to see that anymore, when we're out swimming around. So I want to know, I know that like right now, so I'm starting in the safe shallows and on my way to Lifepod 6. So I'm going to take note of anything crazy that I see, what kind of biomes I go through, so that when, later on, if I'm trying to find a specific biome and I don't remember exactly where it is, I know I can look back at my notes, I can be like, oh hey, on my way to Lifepod 6, I went through the grassy plateau, or I went through a kelp forest, something along those lines. So there's our air pump that we set up last time. I'm kind of tempted to bring that along with us. I don't have a whole lot of room here, but we'll just kind of continue on. Alright, so here I am already seeing something. So off to the left here, this is some wreckage. Now you can see here that this would be a small wreck, so it doesn't look like there's a genuine portion. Why do I feel like my screen is kiltered somehow? I don't know. So you can see that there's not like a huge portion of the ship that's down here. You'll see that, kind of the difference between a large wreck and a small wreck is that with the large wreck, there's actually a part of it that you can go inside and you can search yourself around. So let's go ahead and take a look down here. Should be some good stuff to scan, hopefully, if we haven't already seen this one on accident. There's nothing there. Nothing there. Might have already gone through this one just in our travels. I don't remember if we have or not. So, that's a good thing to kind of take note of. Alright, so there is a small wreck there that we went through on the way. And nothing really for us to take note of. Okay, we'll come up here, grab a breath, and then we'll head right back down. So I'm going to swim relatively close to the bottom so that we can find anything like that. So we had a small wreck. And I can see here that we're starting to transition into a grassy plateau. So I can see that here based on the pillars, and then when you get down closer, it's the red grass. So grassy plateau, so I know that we've got that. So you do have to be a little bit concerned in the grassy plateaus, mainly for those guys. So as nice as it is to grab some bubbles here, he will come after you. Alright, so you can find some good stuff to scan in here, so we're going to keep our eyes peeled for some stuff. And you can even find some things up on top of these little pillars, so don't discount that at all. So we're still heading in the right direction. And here we go. We got some more wreckage over here to the right. So this one may be a small wreck or maybe a large wreck. We'll have to take a look. It looks like this would be a small wreck. So we'll go up. Oh, those reef backs are beautiful. So we'll go take a breath, and we'll actually hop bring out the sea glide to go back down. That'll give us some more time on the bottom to actually do our searching. Sorry about the frames. For some reason, whenever you surface, frames go to crap. Alright, we'll turn off the laser. Ooh, there's a random piece right there. Looks like a scanner room fragment. Oh man, that's gonna be nice. If we can actually pick that thing up, that'll make a huge difference. Alright, so nothing down there. Nothing in there. Oh, there's a trash can. The trash can's actually nice, so for right now, until you get the trash can, you don't really have a good way to genuinely dispose of things that you may or may not, that you don't think you need. You can, when you're in your habitat, you can't drop things, i.e. you can't go into your inventory and right-click to drop them, right? When you were out, oh man, okay, so there's a nettle thing here, there's a sea moth fragment. I feel like we already have the sea moth. No? Was that, did we just get that? I don't know. It didn't come up with that. Okay, so I know that we got the new blueprint there for the bioreactor, but I didn't hear her make the same announcement for the sea moth that she did. Whatever, we'll figure it out. Okay, where were we? We were over here. I don't remember what I was talking about. Obviously not that important. I think we were going this way. Oh yeah, so you can go out in, when you're out of your habitats, when you're just chilling out here, you can drop things, but when you drop stuff, it doesn't go away. It stays in game, and I don't know how much of an impact. I know that when you start building a lot of stuff, the struggle is real when it comes to the lag. So I can only imagine if you've just got this like treasure trove of crap like thrown down beneath your base of the stuff that, you know, like spoiled food and that kind of stuff that you don't think that you need or that you can't do anything with. So with the trash can, you can open it up just like you would any other like wall locker or anything like that, and you just put your stuff in there, and then the next time you open it, it's gone. So it just genuinely gets rid of things, which is good. And that is huge. So that's a salt deposit.
30 seconds.
We definitely are, we're not ready for that yet. So the only way to harvest from the deposits is to have a prawn suit, specifically a prawn suit with a drill arm. Alright, so I kind of lost track there of everything that we got. So what I'm going to do, so I'm confident that we got everything around this area, maybe? This looks, yeah, that's the bar table. So I'm confident we got everything from this area that we were supposed to. There's another sea moth fragment, just to make sure. No, okay. Alright, so that was telling me that we had new info on the sea moth, but I only had 1 out of 3, so we haven't found that yet. So that's okay. Figured it out. Alright, so let's go over here. And go up, grab breaths, that we got plenty. We'll take note of that. So we saw another small wreck. And let's go. So this actually would be a pretty good spot to have that air pump with a couple of pipes, right? We wouldn't have to stop quite so many times. What are you? Oh, there's a couple of things. Is that another sea moth fragment? It is. That's going to give us the sea moth blueprint. Little early for that right now. I mean, obviously not, right? The game is putting them there. It expects you to have them by now, so we'll take advantage of it. But I'm not ready for the sea moth quite yet. Some salt right there. Let's just grab that while we're here. And so here we've got a data box. So in here, some ultra glide fins. Those are going to be really nice. An abandoned PDA, and it looks like this met kind of a terrible end. So we got another PDA. I don't have a whole lot of time left down here. It's not giving us the option to fix anything or use anything. Got some flares. Oh, a nice little piece of lead. It's not letting us take a med kit. Oh, let's go ahead and do that then. Come back up. I'll dive back down one more time just to make sure that we got everything. I think we did. I'm also kind of just looking around the area to see if there's any other. So there's a box right there. So generally the boxes kind of hang out with one another. This is a terrible spot. Fortunately, the two of them are kind of preoccupied. This is going to give me a laser cutter fragment. Oh, that hurts. Leave me alone. It's painful because I really do want that thing. And let's go ahead. Oh no, I dropped it. Wrong button. Use it. Alright. Let's stop farting around. Make sure that I have everything. So I got that. There was a second PDA out there. There was a single PDA in there. There was nothing to scan inside. Nothing else around here. There's a creature egg down there. I'm not going to pick that up yet. We'll get to that eventually, but it's just... I'll go ahead and break these while they're here and begging to be broken.
30 seconds.
And let's go ahead and head back. So we should be pretty close to the same path, right? So we probably won't see anything crazy different on the way back, but it does just change the way that you see the terrain, right? That's a reef bag sticking up out of the water, and that's pretty cool looking. So come back down, make sure. So we're still in the grassy plateau. Alright, so something else I'm going to show you, because I don't think that I've done it yet, and I've definitely got the space. So you can cure the food. Oh, that's a Reginald. I'm gonna go ahead and take you. Where'd you go? Yes, I want you. Those guys are even better than the peepers. Come here. Sorry for that craziness there for a second. So you can cure fish, right, with the salt. But the other thing that you can do is make water. That was quartz. That was not exactly what I wanted. Normally, I'm just overwhelmed with salt. Maybe I've made it? I don't remember. Okay, so that's 3. So that'll give me the 2 cured Reggies, and I'll be able to make 2 bottles of water, but you need one more thing, which is a coral tube sample, which we will certainly find along the way. Oh, we've got the fabricator in our little habitat that we made in our home away from home. So let's go ahead and we'll just go back there instead of going... There's another sea glide.
30 seconds.
Yes, I get it. Not that far from the surface. Really? It's amazing how quickly that oxygen goes away when you're down there. Perfect timing for us to get back. So there's our house. Oh, stop telling me what to do. Butterfish, I'll take you too. Oh, and I need my coral tube sample. Where'd you go? There's one over there. So for some reason I have a really bad habit of grabbing table coral samples as I'm swimming around, and then I have to go back out. I don't know why, but the two of them just are very similar.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Alright, and we are back. Let's go ahead and resources. We got a new one. So the plasteel ingot. I'm not sure exactly what we saw that allow us to do that, but now we can make bleach. So a salt and a coral tube sample. Go ahead and make a bleach. Make our filtered water here. So the filtered water is a single 6-ounce bottle. It gives you plus 20, and that's per bladder fish. And then a single bleach gives you two 12-ounce bottles, and those are plus 30 for each of them. So much more bang for your buck that way. So you can cook a Reggie. I am going to cure a Reggie. I hope they cure as well as the peepers. I know cooked, the Reginalds are better than the peepers. So a cured Reginald is plus 44. Oh, that's gonna suck. Let's go ahead and we'll drink that. It's still worth 16 food. Wow, I was really low on water. Eat you. Alright. So that's all that stuff. So now we'll go ahead and take a look through here really quick of some of the things that we found while we were out and about. So I cleared these up before we left. So all of these alerts are just from that one run out to Lifepod 6. And we have another alert up here too that's going to set us up for our next run. So we can cook and cure Reginald. We do now have the sea moth. Man, that is amazing. The one thing that I don't think we have is the mobile vehicle bay. These ultra glide fins, we need the modification station for. I'm not sure if we have that one yet. Base room, scanner room. We'll only need one more for the scanner room, and that will be a huge upgrade to whatever we're doing. The bioreactor will be nice. That has to go in a multi-purpose room, which we don't have yet. And then the bar table and the trash can. So the trash can is nice, but not essential. So a radio is a single titanium and copper, which would allow us to look at the radio from our habitat instead of... Alright, so there's the sea moth. Tells you all about it, what it's capable of doing, which is good. And then now here's what we found at the Lifepod, so we'll take a listen. So these actually have audio that goes along with them.
Ma'am, I need you to stay calm. We're not in immediate danger.
Where are the rescue teams?
The Aurora didn't make it.
So, where are the rescue teams?
They're dead, ma'am. We have rendezvous coordinates, but the routes are radiated.
So, what are you going to do?
I'm head of human resources, ma'am. This is not my expertise. But the PDA says if we can find some lead, we can make radiation suits.
Oh, there! I am not setting foot outside this life pod without the proper protection.
Don't worry. I'll go.
Oh, isn't that so true? You got just some person that works for the company. It doesn't matter what their actual job is, but they're just expected to go out of their way. So let's see what happened. Oh, spoiler.
What are you doing?
You were gone so long. I thought you drowned.
Put the flare down!
I was going to try and attract someone's attention.
That's not a distress flare! Stop waving it around like that! You'll catch the fuel line!
Whew. So that explains why the Lifepod was blown out from the inside out. Okay, good. Learned something today. Alright, so that closes that out. I do have a titanium and a copper, so I could do that. Let's go ahead and... Interior pieces bioreactor. I can't build that yet. Trash can, bar table, interior modules. Go ahead and build the radio. Boom. Not going to click on it yet. So let's see what I need for this medical kit fabricator. So for the computer chip, I need 2 table coral samples, 1 gold, and 2 copper. So I know I've got the 2 copper. Do I have any gold? I do have 8 gold. Alright, so I need 2 table coral samples and 2 creep vines. Two table coral samples and 2 creep vines. Table coral samples are very convenient for now. So as far as I know, those do not grow back. So once you farm all the ones around, and you gotta slowly stretch out and go further and further away from your base to find them. So this will be nice. This will give us a medkit fabricator right in our habitat. Did I already get this? No? How have I not? Oh, you stinker. I feel like these guys are attacking me a lot more than I am used to. So, coming out here for some things, we just found some stuff. So, beacon will be nice. So, one of the things that we do not have is a laser cutter. And the laser cutter is required to get into, I don't want to say all, but at least most of the large wrecks. So you can skirt around the outside. I am in the shallows. It should not be quite that dark. Okay. That was really strange how dark that got. So, to get into the large wrecks, you need a laser cutter. You can skirt around the outside and you can pick up all the things that are just kind of laying around it, but to genuinely get in and do the deep searching, you will, at the very least, need the laser cutter. So I like to have the beacon, at least a beacon on me when we go out and about. That way, if we see a large wreck somewhere, you can drop a beacon on it so that you can come back to it later. So you don't necessarily need that, as long as you remember which, where you were headed when you found it, then it's not that critical. But alright, so I need you because I have to make a fiber mesh. And for the computer chip, I need a copper wire. And the computer chip. And now we should be able to build the medical kit fabricator. Very nice. Now we genuinely have no reason to go back to the Lifepod. We have everything here that the Lifepod had. Deployables. I will make a beacon. Hopefully I have enough to make another one. I do not. Let's figure out what I need. A copper. That'll drain us. So I'm making 2 because I'm gonna put one right down here. Or right up here. So we'll place the beacon on the hotbar. Come down here. bam, push it out, and then you can pick it up or you can rename it whatever you want. So we'll just call this one home, and we will, wrong button, tab it out, go to our beacon manager. We'll get rid of Lifepod 6 because we've already been there. There's nothing else along the way that we need to get, and the escape pod we no longer need. So we have a single beacon, and it is our home beacon, which just feels fantastic. So that was a counter. What was the other one? And the beacon. Put that back up the top, just clean it up a bit. And I want to put the habitat builder back on the hotbar. That is beautiful. Now we have our own little home beacon. So now we know where home is. Let's see, is there anything else in here that we have not built yet? The aquarium, I don't think there's any place in an X compartment that you can build an aquarium. So I'm not too terribly concerned about that. Let's make sure that we've got everything else. Standard O2 tank. We've got all of those things. All of the tools we have, except for the laser cutter. So let's go ahead and listen to the radio and see what's coming up next.
This is Ozzy from the cafeteria. What the hell, guys? They didn't warn us this might happen. Our pod was almost crushed by the Seamoth Bay on the way down. Now we're hanging on the edge of a cave system, and this grim-looking snake thing's trying to beat through the hull. Come get us already.
So the key part of that you have to take note of is almost crushed by the Seamoth Bay, which is nice. So that tells us two things: that we should be able to find some Seamoth fragments over there, but we already have the Seamoth. And two, the Seamoth Bay, I think, is most likely is what he's referring to, the moon pool, because that's what we would use as the Seamoth Bay. So we may be able to find some moon pool fragments over there, which would be incredible if we could get that going. That'll allow you to recharge the power cell on the Seamoth and all those types of things. And if nothing else, we should be able to find some mobile vehicle bay fragments, which I don't think we've found any of those yet. Have we? Yes, 2 out of 3. I'd like to find another one of these. You need a mobile vehicle bay to build a Seamoth, and then the moon pool will allow you to make modifications for the Seamoth, allow you to rename it, you can recolor it, and you can automatically recharge it, which is nice. So we're not quite there yet. So what I would like to do before we head off to Lifepod 17, so that is 500 meters away, we have no... I do have 1 spare food. I have very little spare water. So I'm going to go out and do a little bit of salt farming so that I can make some water and find some more peepers. And so we'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll come back and we'll make all of our final preparations to head out to Lifepod 17, and we may have to call it a day at that point. So let's try to catch ourselves a couple of peepers. Get over here. 1, 2. I didn't want you. I'll just let them swim away. Just go ahead and get 5 peepers. Then we'll get 10 pieces of salt if that's possible. Oh man, that was close. Sometimes you can get them before you scare them. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Give me 1 more peeper. Alright. Then I've got plenty of space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know that if I head generally this way, we will come to that grassy plateau, and I know that there is salt there. But hopefully we'll find some on the way. I do like the location of our little habitat. This is going to be really nice to have this big open spot right here. So 12, 16 spots. Just need to make sure that I have 10 spots for the salt. See, once we find the scanner room, that this the random searching will go away. You can do very targeted searches for almost exactly what you're looking for, and it makes these trips much more efficient. So one. We just found another wreck. 2. This is not what we were out here for, but we will go ahead and we'll take it. Scanner room fragment. Oh, goodness. So that finishes that up. Oh, so many things to do now. Makes 3. I'm going to run out of space now because I'm going to have too much titanium, but we can... Oh, don't do that to me. Alright. Let's grab this. Oh, that was really dumb. We might... glad we looked up that time. Alright. Let's go ahead and we'll head back home. Drop all this stuff off. And then we'll come... Oh man, I don't want to... So now here's a good case where we can use the beacon. So even though this isn't a large wreck, so... there's nothing crazy down here. There's still some stuff that I want to scan. So we'll go ahead, we'll drop a beacon, because we can just pick it up later. Here. That's where we want to go. We'll put our survival knife back on the hotbar. So I'm going to go back, I'll drop this stuff off, and I will meet you back here. Alright, and we are back here. We only got 4 out of the 10 salt that we were looking for before we were so wonderfully interrupted by this wreck down here. So I dropped off all the titanium and those types of things that we found. Where did our here beacon go? Oh goodness. Stuff out that wants to kill us. Oh, bad sharks. Oh goodness. There's another quartz. Alright, so anything else in this wreckage that I think we can scan? Directly here. Come up, take a look. Oh, there it is. Alright, so let's go ahead, pick up this beacon so that we don't lose it. So now it's back in our inventory, which is nice, so they are reusable. And I would say that we are done there. So, salt. Salt. That's what we're here for, salt. So let's get back to it. Alright, well, this is taking a little bit longer than I expected. So I'm going to go ahead and take a little break here while I go find the rest of the salt, and I'll come back when I am back at our home and ready to start some crafting. Alright, and we are on our way back. I finally got my 10 salt. We'll cure some fish, make some water, have a good lunch, set ourselves up to head to Lifepod 17, and then we'll call it a day.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
So I put it all in here. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you. So now one of the things you do have to take into account is most things will reduce when you produce them. Very few things will multiply. This kind of reduces and then multiplies. So as you make the bleach, it takes 2, turns it into 1, but then when you use the bleach to make water, it takes that 1, turns it back into 2. So just keep that in mind as far as space goes. One of the things with the fabricator, so if you do over make things with the fabricator, it'll sit on the fabricator. It won't allow you to use it, but it also will not put it in your inventory. It'll just kind of sit there and wait for you to empty some of your inventory and come back. With certain things with your inventory, you just won't get it. So like if you go out and if you what was one of the worst things, probably one of the worst things I did was a deep shroom. So I found like a single deep shroom out there. I was so excited that I found one, and I chopped it and I had no space left. So then it just disappeared and all the seeds went away. So I had to keep swimming around to try to find another one. Not a huge deal, but just a way that you can screw it up. So keep that in mind. So we'll go ahead and drink some of this water, get ourselves full. We'll leave ourselves just a little bit in there. So I don't need any of you. Let's go ahead, cure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 peepers. And as you can see, while I was out, I found a fragment for the laser cutter, which we already had, so there's no reason to take the risk, but I did get attacked by a pair of those the tiger plants, the little shooting guys, and they did a hurting on me before I realized how badly they were hurting me. Alright, so we'll put this quartz in here. I've got my spare battery. I only need to carry, let's go ahead and eat you. Carry 1 water, 1 peeper. Ideally, we'll wait for this to replenish so that I can carry a medkit fabricator with us, and then we will head out to Lifepod 17. So with that, I think that's a good place to call this quits. I appreciate you coming. As always, I am X with the Bubbles Gaming Channel, and I'm out.